Hey, and we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to another Tuesday night chat with a Muskrat. I'm your host, Roger, and we got Darrell hanging out with us from Trophy Seekers Outdoors. What's going on, Darrell?
Good evening. Thanks for having me on, Roger. I appreciate you asking me. Hello
Hey,
to
no
everybody
problem.
out there in chat also.
Hey, no problem. So we'll let everybody know why we got Darrell sitting in a pickup truck. Well, you can go ahead and tell him he's
Well,
in the
I
woods.
came. I had to. I'm actually down close to my deer hunting camp. I came down Saturday, which was opening day of deer season, and was messing with my tractor, and it tore up. And my mechanic guy, is a good friend of mine, said, "Well, the only time I can go down is Tuesday, and we can come back Wednesday, but you got to take me hunting." So I don't have any signal at my house down here. It's close to Augusta, Georgia. So I'm sitting out in a gas station parking lot doing a live stream with you guys and deer
Well,
hunting.
well, Darrell, I appreciate your dedication. Some folks would have just canceled, but you're working with us, and I appreciate it.
I
Uh,
told you I was going to be on. I'm going to be on. So
you, I like your attitude.
yeah.
Well, let's say we say hi to some folks here in chat. I know you can't see the chat, so I'm going to read some names off for you, and you might recognize some, you might not. We got avid fisherman in the house, James Kirkpatrick, Stonefly 71, Miss Chrissy Brown. Chrissy, I hope you're starting to feel better. I talked to Ernie this morning, so I'm hoping things start turning your way a little bit. Papo Ed's in the house. Minnow Duckers, Tommy Long hanging out with us as well. Tommy had a tournament this last weekend and won the thing. Took home
All
some
right.
money. Took
Good
home
deal.
some money.
Money, money,
Tommy
money.
is a multi-species angler. He'll fish for anything that swims, and I think this was a bass tournament he was in this last week, and he took a big chunk of those guys' money home with him. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Creole Catfishing hanging out with us. Thomas Littlepage with Laughing Cat. Let's see who else we got. Fishing the Mid-South, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. John Patrick Jr. Now, we are competing pretty heavily tonight, but there's a big tournament going on over there with Has and two stands and all that. So I know that the eyes, people are going to be coming and going, and that's all right. I do the same thing when there's
Roger, don't
multiple.
tell them they'll believe and go over there. You're not
They're
supposed to
going.
tell
Hey, these guys, they ain't silly. They're going to go. They're going to come and go anyway.
them.
But while they're here, I'm going to appreciate them being here. So, Jim,
There you
Buckeye
go.
Catfishing, thanks for stopping in. Jim was on some fish the other day down here on the Ohio River. Looked like those guys are having a good time. Lance McCoo guys in the house. Lance, thanks for stopping in. I seen you. Half these folks I've been talking to over on the tournaments channel. Sharina's in the house. Sharina's keeping it real. Thanks for stopping in. I didn't get to catch you guys' tournament this weekend, man. There was so much going on and so many other. Well, there was other fishing shows going on, and I seen after it was all said and done, you guys had a carp and catfish tournament going on, and I missed it. But my buddy Justin's fishing fetish in here as well. Maybe Gabby's listening over his shoulder. So Gabby, if you're listening, thanks for tuning in. And Darrell Hayslips made it in. He's my brother from Central Ohio. Fishing with the Squirrel. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. We got about 15, 16 people in here so far. We like I said, we got a lot of eyeballs to share the love tonight over on the other channel. And these guys are just putting a hammer down on some fish. Stand 2 and stand 3. I think they're up to like 20 some fish so far. And maybe more than that.
Good
Maybe
Lord.
more than that. But we also got Bob with Fins and Finds stopping in and checking things out. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. And today I just wanted to introduce you guys to Darrell over at Trophy Seekers Outdoors. So, Darrell fishes. Well, I'll tell you what, Darrell, you go ahead and tell these folks what area you fish, what you target, and how long you've been after these big old catfish we love so much.
Okay. I fish usually around Chattanooga from Chickamauga Dam all the way down, really past what's called Raccoon Mountain. So probably about a 25-mile stretch through there. Uh, had a lot of good success doing that. I've caught several big blues and some a pretty decent flathead in there, but that's the area I target most of the time for the mostly flatheads and blues. I love to catch them both. We do some different type fishing, which we call it free lining, where we'll catch some eaters and we'll catch channel cats doing that also. But and of course, you never know what you're gonna catch when you're doing the free lining stuff. So that's what we do most of the time.
So what's your bait of choice when you're free lining?
Free lining is that good old chicken. we
Chicken. Hey,
Yeah, chicken. I mean, we'll put on about a 1 inch by 1 inch to a 1.5 by 1.5 big chunk of chicken. And what we do is we just find a stretch and we've got some places that just really do good with free, what like I say, what we do is free line, and free lining is basically using a spinning reel. It's not really good to try to use a bait catch, but a spinning reel like you'd bass fish with like a medium rod, and with about 25-pound test line with about a 15-pound leader with a swivel, no weight at all. You put that chicken on there and you throw it out and you just drift. If you're drifting a half mile, if the river's drifting you a half mile an hour, or if it's drifting you 2 miles an hour, you try to keep the boat sideways and you just drift down the river. And man, it's exciting. You never know. My PB I caught the other day, I think it was a 23-pound blue I caught on a rig like that. And now
yep.
that's a fight.
With
I broke
on
off a
chicken.
couple of those. Yeah, on chicken. On
We
chicken.
got Woody in the house. Woody stopped
What's up,
in.
Widow? That's my fishing partner right there. Me and him and Russ, we fish a lot. Woody, he's a little bit nutty though, man. I'm telling you, y'all got to watch this guy. He comes up with some crazy stuff. He's had me fishing with cane poles. He sees live chickens all the time. I'm telling you what, I'm about gonna have to quit letting him fish with me. He's so nutty.
Hey, it's good to have those nutty friends around. I think I'm the nutty friend on most of my buddies' boat, and
Yeah,
we keep it
but
fun.
Woody, hey, one video I did, Woody takes all the dang big reels off the boat and hands me a cane pole. We had to fish with a cane pole because he hides all the other rods where we got to fish with cane poles. 13-foot cane poles in a river that has 100-pound blue cats in it. And he's like, "This is what we're gonna do today." He's crazy.
Well, I don't
I
think
love him though. He's a great guy. I'm
I
telling
don't
you
think I'm
what.
that crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, my buddy
We
Skip
caught some.
Stewart made it in the house, and Paula Smith is hanging out with us. Paula, thanks for tuning in. Uh,
Hope you're doing good, Miss Paula. I know she's had some sickness and stuff.
yeah, so thoughts and prayers, everybody. If you got it in your heart to send them Paula's way, Paula surely could use some blessings and some prayers sent up her way. So I won't put her business out there, but she could use it for sure. We love you,
Yeah.
girl. If you need anything, you got my. We talk, but you can call me anytime. Dave Garcher's in the house as well, and let's see, we got a couple of other folks. John, I can't talk tonight. We got Jeff Barker in the house as well. Let's see, Mike Greenwell's in the house. We were just talking about bumping there a minute ago. He must have just hair on the back of his neck must have stood up when we said bumping, and he couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
So let me see here real quick. I thought I just saw a question. If you guys got questions, so Darrell's fishing the Tennessee River, and did you say the pools you were fishing?
Did I say the what?
The
Yeah,
pools you were
I
fishing?
fish. Yeah, I fish between from usually, like say, from the dam at the Chickamauga Dam all the way down past Raccoon Mountain, which is like I say about a 20-mile, 25-mile stretch. That's where I fish 99% of the time. So
Tommy, I'm gonna get to that. I got that flyer I sent to you. I've got it made up. Well, that's just a thumbnail for what I've made here, but I've also got another flyer, a little more descriptive, that I'm working on as well. But we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Remind me, don't let me forget. So you said you had a PB of what was it?
my PB flathead is 72 pounds. I actually
70.
caught that. Yes, sir. That's a fish of a lifetime. I don't know if I'll ever catch one any bigger, but I sure do hope I do. That was I actually Bob Britt. He
Yeah.
and we'd been talking a while about going fishing, and we was actually going to fish down below the dam, but they were spilling a whole lot of water, and we decided we was going to go up on the lake. And I had never fished that lake before, so I said, "Well, you're gonna have to show us around because I don't know anything about the lake." And we started fishing. We caught several of them. I said, I know there's a nuclear reactor up here, or a plant, nuclear plant, not reactor plant. I
Yeah.
said, I hear people fishing around that all the time. I said, you you think we could go up there? He goes, yeah, we're close to there. And what it is, this was February. I don't remember exactly when, but it was in February, and it spills up right in the middle of the river. A pipe comes up and it brings all that hot water up there. And I was like, that'd probably be good because it's February and that's the coldest month. January and February is the
Yeah.
coldest month we have. And so we dropped up, we pulled up there and dropped just below that pipe. And we hadn't sat there 10 minutes. I dropped the bait straight down, and I must have dropped it straight down on that flathead's head because, boy, I mean, he slammed it.
No
And
kidding.
but it's funny. You'd think, oh, he caught a 72-pound flathead. I bet it took him 45 minutes to get in. Got it in about 5 minutes. It was, I guess, it was just so docile from that cold water. It was
Yeah.
like just reeling dead weight up. I mean, he fought a little bit, but not like what you would think. If I'd say this, if it was the middle of summer, because my friend Woody caught one that was 51 pounds, and it took us a half hour to get in. So, you know. Uh, they're just most times I fight hard, but this one didn't for sure. It came right in, and I'm glad because I'd hated to lost that big fish.
Yeah.
Uh,
Come February, them flatheads, you're lucky to get him to bite. Of course, you guys' water temperatures don't get nearly as low as ours.
right?
They call the cops on you yet?
No, there was somebody panhandling over here. I had to tell him no. Sorry.
I got you.
Uh,
You're good.
I'm sitting. Like I say, I'm sitting in the gas station, and there's no telling who's gonna walk up. I actually asked them if it was okay for me to sit out here, and they told me yes. So they're not gonna run me off at least. I try to ask for permission for stuff like that. So,
So down your
but
stretch
yeah,
of the Tennessee River, what's your favorite bait?
just to be honest with you, and I know everybody's holler skipjack, skipjack,
I
skipjack
know
when
what
you're
you're
on
going to say.
Tennessee River,
I've been
but
paying attention.
bluegill, baby, I'm a
Bluegill.
bluegill man. And I fish with skipjack, but my 72-pound came on. It actually came on a crappie, but it didn't come on skipjack. It came on a big crappie. You can fish for catfish with crappie, or you can use them for bait fish as long as they're caught with a rod and reel and they're over 10 inches. I think it's 10 inches in the Tennessee River, and we'd caught them, and that's what I caught it on. But all of my big fish that I've ever caught, I've got a 56 blue and some 45s and 48s, 47. All 99% of my fish have came on bluegill, my big ones. So I
I,
just, yeah, I tell if people go, I can't believe you catch it. I thought, if you love skipjack, that's what you should fish with. If you have confidence in something, that's what you should fish with, and that's what I do. I have confidence in bluegill, and I'll throw skipjack, but I just have not caught the big fish with the skipjack like I have with the bluegill. And I try to, fish with as big a bluegill as I can, but I've really had a lot of good luck with bluegill.
yeah, I'm with Paula on this. Around here, gizzard shad is I can get it the freshest. I can usually catch it every single trip. It's fresh, live half the time. Bluegill obviously takes a little more effort to go get and catch and all that to do it legally. So for me, the gizzard shad here are usually what I target, tend to lean to the most. But man, I love bluegills too.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, and people probably think this is crazy also. I actually catch a lot of bluegill up and take them home and freeze them. I do a vacuum seal them and freeze them. Anytime I catch a bunch, I'll take them home and vacuum seal them. I've got probably 100 bluegill in my freezer right now. I'm horrible at bait. I hate catching bait. I'm the world's worst at it. So I'm always take my plan B with me. I actually put a video out this week, Monday. It said
Yep, I
can't
saw.
catch, couldn't catch bait. Went to Plan B. Plan B, frozen bluegill and shiners or shad rather, gizzard
Yep,
shad. I went and caught a bunch of gizzard shad with a cast net with a friend Tim Trone. He's actually got the Georgia, the largest blue catfish in Georgia, 110 and 6 ounces, and went down there with him and fished, and he caught a bunch of them, and I brought them home and vacuum sealed them, put them in the freezer. I'm going to fish with them. Everybody says they're best during the winter time, so I'm going to try them this winter. So, along with a bunch of frozen bluegill.
Yep, I don't hardly ever freeze. I freeze my skipjack. I don't think I've ever froze bluegill. Not for a long period of time, maybe for a few days or something. But it might be something I have to stock up on, because myself, I run a big bait tank at my house. It's one of those big square deals with the metal cage around it. It's 275 gallons, and I usually keep it running all the time and keep bluegills in it. And but right now I ain't had that thing running for a couple months.
Right. I've done, and I've got several videos. I've done videos where I've done frozen bluegill versus fresh bluegill, where we'll catch the bluegill. Usually does about the same. I've done skipjack versus frozen skipjack. I've tried every different way, and I'll just be honest with you, I haven't seen a big difference in it. And so it doesn't bother me to throw either one. Now, I will say I'd rather have fresh bluegill. We'll be sitting there fishing for catfish, and Russ, my buddy, or whatever, we'll be catching live ones also and use them. But I've a lot of times compared and haven't had that much difference between them. And at times I've had the frozen beat the fresh, and at times I've had the fresh beat the frozen. So
not a big enough difference to say without a doubt one way or the other.
Not at all.
I've tried to watch some of those videos. You got a lot of versus videos. I really do like those.
Yeah. I like to experiment. I really do. Yeah. I mean, I guess Dieter Melhorn put it in me, man. He does so much testing and stuff. I'm like, I want to know too, because I've only been fishing. Just guys, I've only been fishing for about a year for monster catfish. So I'm a rookie. I mean, I'll just say I'm a rookie, and I like to be like a sponge. I've always heard people say, be like a sponge, absorb everything you can learn.
Yes.
And that's what I do. I mean, I watch so many YouTube videos on how people fish and all, and I try them, and I go out with an open mind of giving them a chance and seeing how it works out. And a lot of times at certain times it'll work a lot better than other things, and that's the way I've learned to do it, and I've been pretty successful with it. So
if one of my moderators could drop Darrell's channel for me out there in chat, I think a lot of you would find some valuable information and some entertainment as well, and checking out what Darrell does down there on the Tennessee River. Jeff Barker asked, does it matter how long they've been frozen? So I know you're vacuum sealing them, which is going to greatly lengthen the amount of time they could be in the freezer, but
yes.
Have you seen a time limit that's you shouldn't keep them past a certain point?
Well, once again, no, but it's because I haven't been doing this very long. I do right on. I have a video out there where I vacuum seal skipjack, and I do the bluegill the same way. I write on there the date that I catch them, like and put them in the freezer. And of course, I'm always using the oldest ones first, But I've got some that's been in there for 3 months, and I can't tell any difference. Like I say, I make sure and I wipe them down. Of course, the biggest thing is when I'm catching them, I'm putting them on ice, and I'll keep a bag of ice in there and ice. I'll throw them in the ice, and then I put that bag of ice on top of them and make sure they freeze real good. And then by the time I get through with them, I'll open that bag of ice, and then I'll put salt on top of that ice, and that really gets it real good and cold. And when I get home the next day, usually I'll vacuum seal those things. They're still, I mean, they're just fresh frozen like that. I wipe them off, get all the slime of them off, and I keep them separated in a vacuum seal bag. If I'd have been able to do this at home, I was going to show some of that stuff, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and I had to come down here and get my tractor that broke down. But I vacuum seal them. I don't let them touch. So, that's the way I do them, and they seem to do good. I have not had one bit, and I know people probably shaking their heads, but that's just the way I am. If it works, don't fix it.
Hey, check your battery. You was getting real choppy on me there for a minute. And that's usually a first sign of a battery going low.
Well, I'm
I don't know
plugged
if you're
up,
on
so
charger or not.
yeah, I'm plugged up, so it should be good. I'm charging.
Okay,
It looks like it's good. Okay, I might have been
I got
moving
you.
some stuff around. How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, sorry about
Usually,
that.
whenever the audio starts getting choppy, that's one of the first things is the battery getting low.
Right.
But got a lot of people in here saying that they like the bluegill. Some folks saying they got some bluegill frozen up as backup, like you said, Plan B,
Yeah.
whenever they can get them. And I'm like a lot of guys in here talking about using salt to make a brine, and use that salt and water and that ice, and then I put them all in that brine, and it almost flash freezes them instantly. And then I drain all the water off and just leave them packed in that ice and leave my drain open on my cooler. So any melting of the ice, no water sits on the fish, and
Yeah.
that is a really good way to keep that stuff fresh fast.
Right. Yeah, it seems to work great for me. Like I say, because I live an hour and a half, and a lot of people know this. I live an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes, according to how the traffic is, to the Tennessee River. And the first thing I've got to do when I get there is try to catch some bait, fresh bait. And if I don't, and I'm going to take frozen with me because there's times you just don't find the bait real quick, and especially early in the morning. And so I know I'm gonna put some frozen on there and be catching live as I'm catfishing,
Yeah,
because a lot of times we're fishing close enough to the bank unless we're doing something out in the center. We can throw over with some some uh red wigglers, whatever, and catch some bluegill and stuff like that, or catch some skipjack that's running. But I'm not gonna lose 3 or 4, 5 hours in a day trying to catch bait when I live so far away. And I'm studying catching a big catfish, not catching a 6-inch bluegill or whatever.
yeah.
So I'm not gonna let that bother me one bit. And we'll catch them as the day goes on. But I usually take me at least 10 or 12 bluegill with me when I go up that's frozen.
Um, Thanks, Mike Greenwell and Skip Stewart there for dropping his link for us all. If you guys get a chance to check him out. Myself, see, Skip's in here, so he'll vouch for me. I'd say 90% of the time we go to the water, we don't have any bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have any bait. If we don't catch it that morning, we don't get a fish. And that's, now if we got skipjack frozen, and I think bluegill would be another option. But in the wintertime, especially, we don't use chicken past probably now. Once the water temperature gets down in the 60s, chicken just doesn't seem to work for us. I don't know if it's any different for you guys. But we pretty much got to catch it that morning or we don't get to go.
Yeah, only thing I really use chicken for is when I'm freeriding. I've never really. I think maybe one or two times, Russ has thrown a piece of chicken on when we were anchor fishing, but uh, I just don't have any confidence in it. Just to be honest with you, if I was dragging up on the Chickamauga Lake or something, I probably would. But anchor fishing, I mean, I've had so much good luck. Excuse me, good luck with cut bait or live bait. I just can't make myself throw a piece of chicken whenever. I know I'm doing good the other way, and I'm throwing 6 rods, and I could put one on there, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
During the summer, man, chicken for us on the Ohio River, there's a lot of times that'll outfish, traditional baits. And even up on the reservoir, we got a lake called Hoover, and it's a deep reservoir full of blue cats and some nice flatheads. And there's been plenty of times where the chicken has way outperformed the shad and bluegill up on that lake. And
Oh yeah,
but those days
Jimmy
are kind of coming.
Smith. Yeah, Jimmy
Yeah,
Smith has caught some monsters on chicken. I mean, he's pretty much all he ever uses anymore. I mean, he's caught some huge fish on chicken. So uh, I probably should try it more. It's just,
yeah.
I'm real versatile on where I fish and all that stuff, but man, it's just hard for me to pull away from bluegill. I've caught so many big ones on them.
Oh yeah.
So
Confidence is is key, man.
Absolutely.
We got.
Absolutely.
Hang on a second. I got something trying to. My computer's trying to restart. No, don't do that.
Yeah, when you
We
saying you
got.
was crackling, you was crackling on me. I was like, I hope he's not about to go out. So, yeah,
Oh, it could have been me. We got
yeah,
V3 Customs in the house. Jeremy Colvin stopped in. We got Pontoon Jody hanging out with us. Jason Lamb also hanging out with us. So I want to make sure I got to sneak over and say hello and welcome to everybody. Real quick here. I actually used salt in the cooler last Thursday for the first time. Seemed to work good. I had 108 shad and vacuum packed them. Used some Monday and they were still in good shape.
there you go.
Yep.
That's the best
Yeah,
way.
salt will definitely make your water way colder.
Yeah.
I've got a trick that I do. I go up to my spillway and catch fresh shad, and I want to keep them alive. I'll throw a couple big frozen jugs. Oops, sorry about that. Frozen jugs in a cooler. Now, when I get down to the water, I'll just throw a couple buckets of water in my cooler, and I've always got at least 2 cups of salt down in there. And what that does is when I fill that up with that water, it drops that water temperature really low. And I can, normally with the shad, you got a little cooler, 15, 10 gallons, about all it's going to hold. You can't carry very many shad in that before they're just going to die.
Yeah.
You put that salt in there and them salt blocks, or the ice blocks, and you could load that cooler full of shad. It will stun them. It'll slow their metabolism way down to where they're just barely moving. I mean, just barely. And then I can catch all I want, get them to the truck, and you throw them in the truck. They'll all sink to the bottom. You'll think they're all dead. You come back and check them 30 minutes later, and they're all alive, running all around the place. And
yeah, my tracker has a 39-gallon live well in the back of it. And what I do is, unless I've gill hooked any, I keep my ice in there for that. And any of those, I'll put in the coolers right then. But I'll keep everything alive until I'm about to leave before I try to ice them down also. So, because I've got a 29 gallon up front and a 39 in the back. And if we get on a lot of bluegill, we'll throw them in those live wells until we get back to the truck, and then we'll ice them down like that. That way they're staying alive all day long until you're going to get out, and then we put them on there and we put the salt on them, and then the next morning usually I'm up vacuum sealing like that also. So
I don't think we touched on what kind of boat you got. Did you?
It's a Tracker Pro V 175. It's made for like up in Michigan, up there on the Great Lakes and stuff. It's a 17 foot 6 inches long, and it's real deep. They use them up there, from what I understand, for walleye and stuff like that. And it works great for catfishing because they're made to fish out of the back for trolling and stuff. And it works really great. Everybody gets on the boat, they're like, boy, this is what I want, because it's just made to fish out of the back. It has plenty of room for rods, and there's really nothing. The only thing, mine has a right console. I wish it had a console on the left. That's the only difference I want. I don't care for a center console. I had one before I had this boat. And getting around that center console, I'm 6'4", 295 pounds. I'm a big old boy. I don't like going around them consoles. I get all tripped up and be in the Tennessee River, and somebody's going to have to fish me out, and they can't because I'm 300 pounds. So I like walking through the middle of the boat, not around the sides of it. Yeah. And but I had a Carolina skiff at one time, and it works great for fishing out back, but that center console is not fat boy friendly. So I sold it.
My boat was a center console. Somebody had changed it because mine's a 22 foot deep V, and somebody had changed it to center console. And I always thought I would like center console, until I got one, and then I didn't like it.
I didn't like
there's
it
nowhere for the other guy to sit. It's right in the middle of the floor, and it seems like you can go around 360. You can, but it's tight both sides. Whereas if you get it to one side or the other, and I'm going to build another console for my boat. I've only got one console in it now. But I've got the blueprints for it to go ahead and make it a dual console with a full windshield or a split windshield. I seen
You
Mike was
could.
asking me how my boat's doing, and unfortunately, I got it from the boat shop, and it will now start and run, but it's popping and cracking and not taking gas right. You dump the throttle on it, and it falls on its face and does not ever come back out. And the mechanic hasn't returned my calls for the last 3 days, so I'm going to have to pay him a visit. So anyway, endless
Uh,
battles.
well, I tell you, I've got a 4-stroke now. That is. I hope I never have to go back to a 2-stroke. That's the nicest motor I've ever had. It's like I grew up. I'm 58 years old, and I grew up with a 2-strokes and a loud motor, and all those things are so quiet and run so smooth. Golly, man.
I know Skip's in here. He's a big tracker fan as well, and he's got a Pro V. I think his is the 16.5. Man, it's got a lot of room on it for a 16-foot
Right.
boat. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right here, real quick, I got a question from Jeff Barker. Asked, what kind of salt, or does it matter? It does matter, Jeff. You do not want to use iodized salt. The salts that I recommend using, you can go to Lowe's or whatever and get the all natural salts. But I'll be honest, I've been using pool salt, water softener salt for the pools, and it's small crystals and it's very soft. It's made to go into the water and soften the water. That's not the same as water softener salt that you put in your house. It's different, but pool salt dissolves real quickly and seems to be working really well. I've been using it for 2 years. I had a pool and I had a boatload of salt because I ran a saltwater system on it. And I was like, I'm just going to use this salt here, and it seems to work. I just know that you don't want to use like regular table salt, iodized salt. It'll burn their gills up and they'll die. Now, if you're just trying to freeze them, it might not make a difference. But if you're trying to keep them alive, then you don't want to use the iodized salt. So just something to keep in the back of your mind. Thanks, Mo. I appreciate you being here for one. But yeah, the boat is that's a bummer. Yeah, it's all right, Mike. Mike says he loves his tracker as well, Mike Greenwell. And Skip commented his 115 4-stroke sips on the gas, and it does.
Yes. Yeah. That's one thing. If you don't run them wide open, if you can stay off of running them wide open, man, you can go so much further on that.
And
Go ahead.
And the thing is, you just back it off just a hair. You really don't lose but maybe 2 or 3 miles an hour, but you save a ton of fuel. You just back it off a hair, but everybody wants to hammer down and get that last.
I've learned better.
Yeah, I have too.
I had that center console boat, and it had a 60 horsepower motor on it, and it was a 2-stroke. This one I've got, the person that bought it, it was an older couple, and he wanted a 150 on it, so it's got a 150 on it. And but if I just won't run it wide open, if I run it about 40 miles an hour, I get better fuel mileage than I did with that 60 horsepower on that center console all day long. I mean, it's just they're really good with fuel economy for sure.
If you guys didn't catch that comment there, Papa Ed says the feed salt works too, which is a great tip as well. There's a lot of videos out there on salts and brines and different things. So if that's something you're interested in, take the time to check it out and make sure that you're using. Like I said, I've been using the pool salt, but it's been working good for me.
Yeah. And there's also I can't think of the name of it that I use in my bait tank when I use my bait tank. That you get that if you have chlorinated water, I go to Home Depot and they've got this stuff that you pour just a couple of caps pour in there, and it'll neutralize that water, and it also helps from slime coming off and everything. And like I said, I can't remember. I apologize, but you can get that stuff too, and it's made for ponds and stuff for fish and stuff that you do at ponds at your house.
There's quite a few different products. If you're worried about using your chlorinated tap water, the pool section, the pet section at Walmart also has the chlorinator in the aquarium section.
Yeah.
And it'll, like a teaspoon per 10 gallons, I think is the most common ratio. But something to think about there as well. Greenwell says he went from a 120 horse 1991 to a 200 to a year 2090 horse. He says, I feel rich when I was getting 1.7 miles a gallon. Now I'm getting 3.5. He's feeling pretty high.
Yeah.
Local leg. Oh. Tommy says he's 194 and his partner was 170. We pulled a 300-pound teenager out of the water, local lake. The canoe tipped over. It was hard to get him over the side. I bet so.
If I fall over, I'm calling those two guys then.
Buckeye says he's been using the water softener salt from Lowe's. So you guys get some options going on here as far as what's going on. Jeff Barker says coil pack jumping fire from one to the other, Roger, on your boat. I hope not. It's a brand new. The mechanic put on a coil pack and a timer base. I put new plugs, new wires, new timer base, new coil pack, new fuel pump, fuel filter, fuel hoses. Yeah, I don't know. It's kicking my butt, making me angry.
That can get frustrating.
Yeah, it's a 90 Johnson 150 GT. It's an older boat. Now, when it's running, right, it'll run like a scalded dog. It'll suck the gas to do it, but I can outrun Skip in his 115 Mercury. and I'm hauling a lot of boat. I got 7 deep cycle batteries alone on my boat. Man, I don't care how fast I go.
Just as long as you can stay there all night long on those 7 batteries, right?
Yeah, I can pretty much do whatever I want. And I don't, I mean, being fastest doesn't matter to me. I just want to have what I need when I'm out there. Mike Greenwell, your timer base is underneath your flywheel. So you've got your stator, which turns your AC and DC currents to charge your cranking battery. But then underneath of it, you got your timer base, and it's basically set up so when your flywheel's spinning around, it's a rotor, if you think about it, on a car engine. So it just tells them what sequence to fire. And that's what the coil pack does. It sends the information to the coil pack, and the coil pack relays it to the spark plugs. Anyway, it's all new. It should be working fine, but it's not.
Maybe it's time to get a new mechanic.
This is a new mechanic.
Never mind then. I give up.
This is a new mechanic. The other mechanic just really, he doesn't want to work on this old Johnson. He only wants to work on brand new Mercuries. That's it. That's all he wants. And he's just a real rude guy. I don't know how they've stayed in business so long, but he basically told me, he said, if you hadn't been a customer for so long, I'd tell you to take this piece of crap and shove it up your butt.
Good Lord. Did you look at him? You loved him too?
Yeah, I said, well, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm going somewhere else. I said, that's not how you talk to customers. And I did. I rolled out, found another guy. I stay in contact with who bought my old boat, and someone told them it could be that on that boat as well. I got you, buddy. Yeah, timer base. Thing is, a timer base and your coil pack, which is what sets the timing off. They kind of go hand in hand. Your coil pack can go bad and not ruin your timer base, but most of the time, if your timer base goes bad, it will ruin your coil pack. So most mechanics won't even replace one without the other because one will cause the other to fail. So you'll buy a $200 coil pack, put it on, and then the timer base kicks it out. Now you got to buy it again and a coil pack, or a timer base. So we won't stay on that horse very long. We'll get off of that. But I do want to share with you guys real quick, because we still got 27 people hanging out here, and we got some local folks in here as well. I'll see if I can remember how to share this screen. And I'll get this other screen up here. I'm going to minimize that. and just bring this. Whoops. Bring this over here. And so this is what we've got coming up on Hoover Reservoir. Let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. The Veterans Day is coming up right around the corner. So if you don't know that November 11th is always Veterans Day. And this year we're going, Tommy and I have talked about it. It's Tommy's idea. But we're going to go put together a little fishing event up on Hoover Reservoir. We would like everybody to try to take a vet with them. We're not going to make it requirement that you have to have a vet in your boat, but if you can get a veteran to get in a boat with you, it'd be awesome. And we're going to do this on Saturday, November 13th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All right. And this is just meant to have a little bit of fun. It's not a real serious knockdown, drag out tournament. We're going to do like $20 a boat, or if you're bank fishing, $20 a team from the bank. So if you got 2 or 3 folks fishing from the bank and you want to be in this thing, $20 for the group. And we're just going to have some fun with it, and it helps celebrate Veterans Day and doing what we love because of the folks that went out there and did what we do what we like to do because of our freedom. So. Brandon and Harry, Catfish and Dreams, you just made it just in time. We're sitting there talking about a fishing tournament coming up on Hoover Reservoir. Just a friendly gathering, some like-minded folks, and we're going to try to get that thing kicked off and get more information out to you guys as we get details on that. I just wanted to put it out there in front of folks now. So if anybody's interested in it, you can get a hold of me and we'll get together and we'll talk about teams and we'll talk about rules and stuff. So I think right now we're just going to do three biggest fish. We might have a pot for big fish and the 3 biggest fish. So depends on how many folks we get interested in it. We might also might throw in a small fish award. But we'll try to make it fun and get together and hopefully get some veterans out there in the boats or on the bank fishing. And hopefully somebody gets to take home some prize money and have something fun to talk about. Brandon says, get a hold of him. I'll do that, sir. I definitely will. Can't make it, but I will send a donation. Mike Greenwell, do you want to do that? That's 100% okay. And get a hold of me, and I'll make sure whatever you want to go towards it, we'll put towards it. I know we got some folks in here for the catfishing for kids tournament coming up. If you guys haven't been paying attention to that, the giveaways are starting to pile in. We're starting to get even more and more giveaways for the kids. And this is one that showed up today, and it's pretty awesome. It is a camcorder, a digital camcorder.
Wow. That's awesome.
To try to get one of these kids that may be interested in doing YouTube, making their own content. This thing is loaded full of goodies. It's got an external mic, battery charger, everything in here. This is going to be our grand prize for whoever has the most points at the end of our tournament. If you guys remember how I set that up, points will be awarded by fish caught and by being in costume. So this prize here is going to go out to one lucky winner, and we will get that all set up going. That donation was given to us by Becca. Becca is also going to be helping me co-host the event Mo Creek. Boom, $20 for Fishing with Vets tournament. Awesome, man. I will get that. I'll get that slot and dedicated over to that event. Thank you so much for your help. And Becca donated that right there. And here's a list of some of the other things that are going to be available to the kids in this kids tournament. Is 2 Uncle Lou's rods, that camera. We've got 2 $50 Amazon gift cards. We've got LEDs donated by Catfish and Dreams. Catfish and Dreams dropped to $10. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Truly. Great show, Rod. Time to go to bed for me. Paula, take care of yourself, girl. Get a hold of me if you need anything. Boom, another $5 from Cleveland, 351 Cleveland. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it more than you guys know. Believe me. But on with the prizes, we've got a T-shirt from Palmetto Cats. We got a T-shirt from John Parker over at Real Time Catfishing. We've got stickers coming in from Avid, Has, Green Machine, Real Time Catfishing. We got some slime line coming in from More Pig and Bill and Jen Hopper. We got a Uncle Lou tackle pack that was donated from Jim Stanley, who won it during the Fish-A-Wish tournament, but has donated it forward for a kid to take home. So outstanding. Love it. We also had Justin's Fishing Finish and Gabby Goose both donate hand-tied jigs that these guys tie, and they are fantastic. Justin sends me pictures of some of these jigs these guys are tying to catch panfish and whatnot with, and they are sharp. I can't wait to I got to buy mine, but the kids are going to win theirs. But what else we got? Well, Patriot James has also donated 3 2-packs to the winners. So we'll have a most points winner, a big fish winner, and a small fish winner for this tournament. So those are the prizes we've got so far. And if anybody is interested or knows somebody that might be wanting to help out with the kids tournament, we're looking for prizes for the kids, or I really like to see some prizes come in for the folks in chat. I don't know about you, but when I'm in chat, I love winning stuff.
There you go.
So I'd love to have some stuff to give away to the folks that are coming in and tuning in, cheering the kids on, and the kids absolutely love it. Speaking of next week, that's what the show will be. I've invited all the kids for the fishing tournament to come on next week and talk about their strategies, maybe talk about costumes. Hopefully, they're going to make fun of the parents, and we're just going to have some fun. I got you, Brandon. I mentioned it. 8 LEDs of their liking. That's right. I got you noted in there. Give it 5 years, Tommy. Caesars Creek will be on fire. Yeah, you're right. All right. So we got off track here. Big time, Darrell.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, anytime you can do something for the kids, I've always said, take a kid fishing. I mean, I love to take them on my boat like that too. You learn on the fish, they get out of all this other stuff, and they get into stuff like that. They're just going to make a better life for themselves. They learn a lot more out there.
I did this kids event back in June, and the response I got from the kids really, and the parents and so many other people that watched the thing, man, I think I had more fun than the kids did. And I was looking for a reason to do it again. And I thought, I love Halloween. Our family's always been weirdos and like to dress up and have fun.
Right.
And so I thought, man, Halloween would be a fun event. And so I decided to go with Halloween, and we loaded the teams up in 5 days. Posts only made it 5 days, and all spots were filled. There's a lot of tournaments going on that weekend. I thought about going ahead and adding a second day. But unfortunately, there's like so much stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm in that tournament for Kevin, the big fish tournament that same day too.
Monster Quest.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yep. So that was the main one that I was trying to keep from overlapping. Now, I did do the kids event during the daytime to keep from stepping on toes there. But to be quite frank with you, Kevin actually called me and talked about his tournament, knowing that I had that kids tournament coming up before he scheduled his event. And we talked about timing and what hours I was going to use and what hours he was going to use. But in a nutshell, he basically called and checked and make sure that it wasn't going to interfere with what I was doing before he scheduled his. So hats off to Kevin for doing that. So Darrell, what's on the agenda for you next? We was talking earlier about live streaming versus production videos and things like that. What can folks that are thinking about joining your channel, or folks that are new to your channel, what can they look forward to coming up?
Yeah. I just learned, guys, you got to remember, I'm almost 58 years old. So, I'm not real computer savvy. I'm learning so much. Like I say, I've only been doing YouTube for about 8.5 months. We were up to 588 subscribers. So you guys, if you can subscribe to that, everybody's chasing 1,000. But all of my stuff's been mostly just production videos where I go out, catch fish, and put together a production video. But I've learned now how to do some live stuff. I won't be doing anything like Muskrat does, like Roger does. I'll be doing some stuff, fishing, going out and doing some fishing. Hopefully, I'll catch some fish and won't get skunked. Uh, but that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, like I was telling you, there's actually, to me, if what I've seen, I'm just learning, guys. I say I'm just learning. It seems to me there's a group of people that really like to watch the production videos, and then there's a group of people out there that do the production, and the group does the live. And so I've gotten a lot. I've built up mostly just by production videos, but I'm going to try to start doing catering to that live group also, because I feel like that people could watch what I'm doing that way and do and learn a lot also. And we catch some pretty good fish. I mean, that Tennessee River, I mean, it's got some good fish. And usually every time we go out, we catch something over 25 pounds. And I just thought that would be something good that people that like to watch live videos, I'll probably, if nothing don't happen, I'll be back to my house tomorrow, and I'm planning on going out Thursday, and we may do a go live probably Thursday and see how that works out. Sometimes it can be a little hairy but I've got somebody going with me, so it'll help me. It's hard to
Right.
do it from a boat live like that, but I've got, usually if I've got somebody with me, I can work it pretty good like that. So.
Yeah, I've done a lot of live fishing. Some days I can put on some good fish. I'll be honest with you. If I don't think if I ain't got much confidence in where I'm going and what we're doing, I'm probably not going to go live. But when I go to areas that I feel that they're going to be, holding good populations of fish, and we got a good strategy and good game plan, good shot at really putting some fish in a boat, then I'll enjoy going live and
Right.
cranking out as many fish as we can. And I enjoy fishing live. It doesn't always work my way. Mike Greenwell says the same thing. Live stream kicks his butt,
Yeah.
and Mike
Uh,
catches fish. So it's
the first time I really went live was with Big Mike, and we caught 4 in about 3 hours there. So uh, I like to go find I like to find the pattern first before I'm going to go live. So hopefully that's what I'm going to try to do, is figure out the pattern. And with catfish, if a lot of people's out there fishing a lot, especially on that river, they can change from deep holes to ledges to, yeah, shallow water to trees to structure underwater. And uh, I'm just a runner and gunner, and once I
yeah,
can figure it out, I can do okay. But it may I'm not a real good morning fisherman, because I spend that morning finding them, and then from about noon till dark when I'm catching them, because I'm usually hunting them because that river can change. I don't know how lakes change too, but that river can change from one day to the next. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy how you got to hunt them. I think I told you, it's a lot
yeah.
like bass fishing with that river, chasing those cats. You run and gun till you figure out that pattern, and then you start catching them like that. So.
Well, I'll tell you, this is something to think about. Actually, Skip helped me do it, and I had a couple folks volunteer when I was down there fishing Tennessee River. Um, Having somebody at home that can um, watch the chat and talk, so you can hear me just fine. It's looking at the screen.
Yeah.
Um, it's looking at the screen that gives it that much harder. So I can give you full screen, and people could be watching you fish, and then you can have another guy in here reading chat saying, Mike Greenwell yesterday said he was live for an hour, then he turned the camera off and boom, caught a fish. Just like that.
Don't
But
scare those folks by putting me just on like that again.
okay, I'll try to
Pop me up like that, you scare all of them off. But I've actually got a tablet I'm going to try. I mean, I got this idea. I've got one of those iPod tablets, so I'm going to try to use my phone to go live with and look at
chat.
the chat. Yeah, excuse me, I'm slow. Chat like that and see how that works. I don't know. I'm going to try it, guys. It's going to
Um,
be an experiment. Just bear with me if you tune in, but hopefully we're going to catch fish. But old Darrell just may not be on top of everything when it comes to the live. It'll take me a little bit.
Hey, if you want to learn, you just got to do it. There's no way,
Yeah.
there's no other way to learn than to get out there and do it. And each time you do it, it gets a little bit easier. Live
Yeah.
stream fishing is tough. But I'll add my 2 cents to what you said. There seems to be a big crowd that likes to follow the live streams and a big crowd that likes to follow production videos. But what I'm seeing now is, and I'm guilty. I'm one right here. Live streaming is so much easier. No editing, no disk space. You don't have to mess with your SD cards. You don't have to sit down at the computer. You don't have to do any of that. It's just, you just go live and catch fish, and then that's it. But I find myself often at times when I want to watch something, I want to watch a video, I'm having to scroll really far to start finding production videos that might be 15, 20, 30 minutes long. I like a 20 to 30 minute long video. That's my personal preference.
That's what I do.
Yep. So, because I don't want to look for a video every 6 minutes. I just don't. And I don't just let it play and show whatever. I'm picky about what I want to watch.
And
But,
I'm picky on my videos also. Here's the way I look at doing a video. That catfish is a star, not Darrell Morris. You're not going to see me standing there talking for 15 minutes and then you see me catch 2 fish all at once. You're going to see me probably do an introduction, tell what I'm doing, and then that I keep my cameras going full time. So, you're going to see the takedown, you'll see the fish being caught and brought in, but you're not going to see me. I'll tell you where I'm at, what I'm doing, stuff like that, but it's not going to be a 20, 30-minute video with 2 fish in it and me talking. If I caught 2 fish, you're going to probably see about a 10-minute video,
Yeah.
So if you tune in one of my videos, you're going to see fish caught. You're not going to see me doing a lot of talking or anything like that. You'll see what we're doing, how we're doing it, and just being fish ready. I'm not going to bore people with me talking, because that catfish, especially on Tennessee River, those big 20 to 60 pounders, they're the star of that video, and I know that. I'm just the guy on the end of the rod reeling them in.
Hey, Catfish and Dreams, Brandon says, Darrell, if you're using the iPad, make sure you have plenty of battery packs on or onboard power. So
yeah, I have onboard power. I have plenty of what do they call USB plug-ins, so I'll plug it all in. Yeah.
My grandma says he tries to make his videos around 10 minutes, and there's probably a reason for that. Mike's been doing it for a while longer, and there's tricks to the algorithm, how you get your videos suggested and recommended and all that. I'm not that fancy yet to figure that stuff all out. I just throw stuff out there and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is I think there's a need now for more production videos. So what I've done the last 2 days is I've set up. I haven't got it approved yet. You have to send all this stuff for approval, but because I've hit 1,000 subs, I submitted for channel membership. And originally I wasn't going to, because I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm up there with the rest of the guys that are just banging it out of the park. But what I decided was, if I start a channel membership and, I make promises to folks that to get videos out and sneak peeks and merchandise, which I've got merchandise ready to launch too now. So I'm going to launch a channel membership, and that's pretty much going to push me into, hey, you need to stay up on your production videos as well as your live streams, because if these folks are willing to donate to the channel and help continue the growth of the show, then I'm going to continue to give them what they want and put production videos out, simple how-tos. I did a how-to over the phone with Chunky last night and blew his mind. I don't know why he didn't know it, and I'll share it with you guys here now, but most people are using inline rattles, the spinning, little rattles, what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And they come in all various different shapes or colors.
Right.
They all unsnap. To snap back together. And so Chunky was trying to make two different. He had one that was 2 different colors, and he was telling Uncle Lou that he needed to order the 2 colors. I said, you already got both colors. Unsnap them, swap the color, and snap them back together, and you can make all the colors you want.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he didn't either. And, I was like, well, maybe I'll do a little video on that, because, you guys are probably the fourth person I mentioned it to, and nobody realized that. And not only that, but if you forgot to put them on your line, you can unsnap it, snap it on your line, and add them.
Wow, I did not know that.
It's so, and there's lots of little twerky things like that I thought, you know what, I can make a lot of little videos and a lot of little tips like that people may enjoy, and I'm just not doing it because I'm doing these live streams, and I just need to get back to what helped me get here, which is production videos and weekly live streams. So
and one thing I like to say about my videos also, you're not going to see just all serious videos. I've got videos out there, Adventures of Chunky Chicken now and Woody.
That's a funny
You
one.
want to see some funny stuff. We're actually about to have another one. I don't know if it's Thursday or Monday coming out. Woody and Chunky Chicken takes the Steve Douglas one fish, one bait, one rod challenge. Now that's a hoot there. But I like to do stuff that's entertaining, not always just serious stuff. Like we did the cane pole deal where we're fishing in the Tennessee River with cane poles, and I mean we're good. You never know what you're going to see with us because I like to have fun. You know, I'm serious about catching big fish, but I get bored doing the same old videos over and over. So you never know what you're going to see out of us. We'll get out there and come up with something and go, let's try it, and just laugh and do it. I mean, the cane pole was just that way.
I wanted to give you props for your one fish, 1 hour, one thing challenge. You know how easy it could have been, and I'm sure other people have, and I didn't do it, but I'm sure other people have. Fished an hour, didn't work. Delete that.
Wasn't going to do it.
No, you guys stay true. It is, it is what it is. Either you did or didn't. Unfortunately, you guys didn't catch fish, but I enjoyed the fact that you showed your true colors. And instead of being, well, let's just start over. Nobody knows the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll guarantee it's been done, but I'm just that guy. I'm going to be honest, and I just can't do it. I got to be honest with the people that watch my stuff. And we had a little bit rough time where I was 99% sure we was going to catch fish on those barges. I could have went out and fished around and found some fish and probably done it. But I was like, no, we're going to hit the river. We're going to go over here. We're going to start this thing off, and we're going to fish just like we were fishing for an hour. And it just didn't work out. And it's like, you know what? There's how many guys out there that's fishing that, especially doing production videos, you can cheat. But what you see on my videos is how they work, how they do. And I'm going to be true to my people that watch my videos. I didn't catch a fish, and I told people I didn't catch a fish. And that's just the way it is. I just got to be honest. I got to be me. And that's what you're going to see in my videos is me.
For me, I did my challenge live. There's no questioning. We was down there bumping Nick and Jack. I said, if I got one rod, I'm going to bump because that's my best chance to catch a fish with one rod. And I don't know how many fish I caught. I caught fish. I didn't edit it out to make it an official video. It didn't really matter to me whether I accepted Steve's challenge.
I thought it was fun to do though, and it was something different,
Yeah.
So
I love all the crazy ideas.
Wait till you see Woody do the Steve Douglas challenge. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious, guys! Y'all want to see a Steve Douglas challenge? I can't remember. I apologize, guys. A lot of people know I had cancer and I had a lot of chemo, and it affects my memory, and I can't remember things. But I'm good now, so don't feel sorry for me. The good Lord took care of me, and I have been cancer free for 14 years. But it's either Thursday it's coming out. I do 2 videos, one on Monday and one on Thursday. It's either coming out Thursday or Monday, and it is hilarious. I mean, just so funny.
Well, guys, if you guys haven't set the hook yet on Darrell over at Trophy Seekers Outdoors, give him a chance. Go check him out. Watch a couple videos if you like what you see, and you will. If you didn't like that video, go to the next one because you're going to find some stuff you like. And make sure to leave a comment and leave a thumbs up on one of his videos so you know your hook sets. And if you like that content, ring the bell for him so that when he is kicking out a lot of content.
Go watch where I hit a barge. Did you see the one where it hit the barge,
I saw
Roger?
where, yeah,
Oh my God, that
you
was
made
as
my,
real as it could be too. We hit
you
that
made
barge.
my butthole puckered up like that so tight. Like, oh my
Could you imagine?
God.
What if I'd have hit it straight on? It just sucked us right under there. And
I don't
we
know what
had
kind
our
of current
backs
you had.
turned. We had our backs turned trying to get that anchor unhung, and we didn't realize what it was. It was hung on a cable. We didn't realize that thing was slipping down that cable and going right to the barge. And that was straight up honest. We hit that barge just like we did it, and it scared me to death.
Yeah,
So
obviously we knew you was okay. You wouldn't have made a video out of it,
yeah,
but
I
watching
could
that
bleep a
boat,
couple places.
I was bleeping and I was at home watching it.
Oh man, I mean, you could tell we didn't know anything was going on. We're up there just trying to get that thing unhung, and wham, we hit that thing. And video doesn't do justice for when you hit something like that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it just hit us and spun us around. It was like, but
As
thank God it
Lance,
spun us.
oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. Lance wanted to say congratulations on being a cancer survivor. He is also a cancer survivor, something we did not learn about Lance when he was on the show, I don't believe.
awesome, thank you, Lance. Yes, sir. We share a common bond. Anybody that's went through chemo, they can feel for somebody that's went through it. I went through a stem cell transplant and chemo, boy. It's rough stuff, but that's all right. The good Lord put us through it. Let us get through it. So,
Absolutely. Well, Darrell, we've gone just over an hour now. Anything you want to share with everybody here in chat before we take off?
I'd just like to thank everybody that's watched my videos, that's subscribed to my channel. I mean, we've had some really heavy hitters out there. We've had some videos, and this probably don't sound a lot to anybody, but we've had some go over 2,000, and over 1,000, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, and you feel it's really helps you when you see a lot of video or a lot of views like that. And I appreciate everybody that's done that. Help us out when we come in on live, come in, ask us questions. I'll do my best. Like I say, just don't get discouraged with me the first two or three, but thank you everybody that's watching. Thank you, Roger, that's asked me to come on. You guys like you and Lyle and Mark and Patriot James, you guys, Kevin, you guys help out a lot of people, and I enjoy doing that stuff. It's just fun to me, and thank you for everybody that's done that for me. I appreciate it.
Well, Darrell, it's been a true pleasure. I love watching this stuff. I can't wait to get back down your way and get back on some fish. Hopefully, it won't take as long as it did last time to get down there. But
let me know when you're coming. We'll get together. We'll have a ball. We might not
yeah,
catch no fish, but we might hit a barge or something.
I'm in for it. I'll wear my floaty. I don't care.
There you go.
Hey, thanks to everybody for taking time to stop out and hang out with us for a little bit. If you're not already interested in the Do You Has What It Takes Tag Team Edition, don't forget that the Has and Brian B, No Real Loss, and Two Stands is over there tearing it up. They've been on my side screen over here. I've been seeing fish every minute or two. I'm seeing a fish brought up over here on the side screen. So be sure to check them guys out. And thank you guys again. Next week, we'll have the kids on the show talking about the Catfishing for Kids Halloween edition. And until next time, we'll see you guys right back here next week. Same cat time, same cat channel. See you guys. And